So I guess I'm just sort of making a very quick preface to this video. We get really drunk in this session, specifically me. I don't know if I'm apologizing or just sort of, I'm definitely not apologizing. I'm just explaining, I guess, as to how ridiculous these next few videos are going to get. I know I started describing combat that everybody was like diving everywhere. He dove, she dove, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. It got ridiculous watching the playback now. It's completely embarrassing. To the point where I almost don't want to include these videos, but it would suck to just leave a giant hole in gameplay. So I'm going to include it. I'm apologizing in advance for this video, more so for the next one, but yeah, I just thought you should be forewarned. Enjoy, I guess, if you can.
Which direction are you doing so, Iron?
So, I point my sword this way.
Okay.
To gesture which way we should go.
Okay.
So
I'm like intentionally shielding the sunrod so that it doesn't peek out into the courtyard.
Right.
With my body, you know.
Okay. So you're gonna move in that direction?
I don't want patchwork coming into the,
Well, why don't you go ahead and move in that direction?
Oh, wow, I figured the sunrod would lead.
Well, so I'm kind of I kind of note what he's doing, and slowly inch my way down the corner here, and look around the corner, shining the sunrod down the down what I see of the hallway. And I'm assuming I'm assuming Iron is just right at my back.
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't know what to say other than that's what you guys see. I mean, there's a long hallway with what looks like a well at the very end of it. Couple doors on the south side.
Okay, so I look back at Malek and say, should we press further? Do you feel like we should press further into the keep?
I nod.
Or, sorry?
I nod, yes.
Okay. Alright. So, I walk up to the first door and open it. And step into the threshold. With a sword out in one hand and sunrod at my side somewhat. Wary of what's in through the door. Yeah.
Illuminating the room, but
yeah, but not
on preparing yourself.
Yeah.
So you sort of creak the door open and peek in, which you can tell it's sort of a small office of some nature. There's a little desk and a chair in the middle, a chest off to the northeast side, and to the west it looks like there's an entryway. Some sort of an open door without a door.
It's not revealing stuff until I move my map around.
Want to move your map around? What?
Yeah. No, I just realized that now.
Okay. I need to take like a quick break.
Lucky that I'm running out of alcohol because finished half a bottle of red wine onto a bottle of pumpkin ale. Wonderful.
That's from Montreal.
This is left over from Halloween, actually.
Right? Okay, so who's here?
I think we're missing Chris.
Krishna? I am?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a perfect example of time for me to stop OBS. Is that Ireland? Okay, so we're all here? Yeah? Okay, I'm fucking drunk. I'm not gonna lie. I'm drunk and in love. Whoa! Anybody get that? No Beyonce reference? No big deal. Okay.
Let's check out this room.
Okay. So yeah, you walk into this room. I mean, you peeked in the door, Rengar, and like I said, I mean, you've seen me perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk in. I look at the chest. I'm immediately interested in it, but worried about the open doorway. So I motion Malik and Iron into the room, point at the chest, sort of shrug my shoulders, but then walk right into the edge of this
Sure.
this doorway just to get a look at
I'm going to
what's-
assume no matter where you're standing that you're
Yeah.
peeking in there.
Yeah.
Iron, should we assume that you're like more like in this situation, or
I am standing directly behind him because
okay,
my
that's
assumption
fine.
is
That's
that
fine. There,
we're not gonna have any stealth here. We got a sun
Sure.
rod that's as bright as the sun.
Yeah, no, you're right.
3 people in chain and a plate.
Wrong. Okay,
Ooh.
so as you're moving in towards this room, Vanguard, you sort of peek around the corner and see the situation. Why don't the 3 of you roll perception checks?
Worked out for me.
We are having some terrible rolls tonight on the skills, I tell you. We've been better with a passive perception right there.
So you peek around the room and you can
Whoa!
see.
I hear
that-
footsteps. Shh. Hold up.
Sorry, what was that?
I hear footsteps.
Mm.
I think someone's upstairs.
So you peek. It's actually downstairs. The stairs that
Okay.
you can see are actually moving downstairs.
Gotcha.
But you see into this room, and there's sort of like there's a pillar in the center room, and you can see sort of around the corner, and there's some stairs going downstairs. But as Malik has stated, you guys can hear some footsteps coming back up into the room. Whatever's down those stairs is stepping up those stairs.
Okay, so based on Malik's insight, I'm immediately going to rush right here. Now, how much? I assume there's no light in this room at all except for the
For the
rod.
sun rod, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to place the sun rod on the floor. I mean, actually, how long do I have here? But if okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically run across here. I'm going to place the sun rod on the floor behind me and start to prep my shield, regardless of how long I have.
Okay.
So I motion for the sun rod.
Okay. So I kind of reach back. Now, motion to hand it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I reach back, toss you the sun rod. I mean, I assume, or I hand it to you, 2 feet away or 5 feet away, and step back with my shield and sword prepped.
So I look at both of them and silently make an underhand tossing motion with the sun rod, like to question, throw it downstairs? An element of surprise type of deal?
Odd.
Imagine
I mean-
the sun suddenly coming into your room that you're in.
Oh,
We are hearing footsteps directly below us, correct?
Yeah. And if they're alive, we're gonna ruin their night vision.
no. So I give kind of almost a sheepish. I should have thought of that. I look and shrug my shoulders and point forward as if to motion. I'm.
You're tossing him the sun rod, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Go
you're
ahead.
tossing the sun rod. Iron, you're tossing the sun rod down the stairs.
Mhm.
Okay.
Should I roll?
No, I mean there's not really much of a roll to be
Just
to be done.
I didn't know if I was gonna hit the wall and have it poke my eye out or something.
No. I mean it's a fairly straightforward action. There's not a.
Alright.
I mean you have a dexterity above 5. I mean it's not a seriously strong action.
If you rolled, you would hit the wall and
Yeah,
bounce back in
exactly.
your face.
It's gonna ricochet
Because our rolls fucking
somewhere
suck.
down the stairs.
Yeah.
Or I'll crit it and it'll knock everything out downstairs.
So what I'm gonna give you, and what it's not really gonna be that much of, is a surprise roll on these 3 characters moving up the stairs. So again, a surprise roll can either be a movement action or a combat or a standard action. I mean, you have successfully surprised them there's not a whole shitload you can do here from here. You can take either a movement action or a standard action before combat exists here. But essentially, you fired that torch down the steps, and you have successfully fired it into these three hooded characters that were moving back up the steps.
Yeah, what are we looking at? Like, they just
Is only Vanguard getting the surprise action?
No, Iron is getting this.
Well, sorry.
I mean, you're all getting the surprise action at this point.
Now here's my question: is this a wall?
Yes.
Or is this the lip?
No, that is a wall. That is a full, tight wall.
So I'm the only one that can see them, right?
Correct. Debatably, you're the only one that gets the surprise action in this case. I mean, if somebody can convince me that they would do an action based just off your action, I'm open to it, but...
No, I think realistically I wouldn't see anything.
No,
I mean,
you're right. He's fired a
to
thing down the tube, and
right.
You're right. I mean, the two of you haven't seen shit at this point, yeah. Iron has just barely seen anything at this point. He's just seen the shroud of the first person coming up the stairs, sort of cowering his eyes against the light of the sunrod. So I'm going to leave it up to Iron at this point, what he wants to sort of proceed here.
I'd rather just do an intimidate roll and see if I can maybe make one of them fumble up the steps. And then into range, you know. I'll just yell
Okay,
at them.
why don't you go ahead and roll and see what happens. Okay, so Iron fires the sunrod sort of halfway down the steps. Which, though the two of you can't see him, definitely surprises the first character in line. He sort of takes a second to compose himself. Definitely surprised, but lurches forward, drawing a blade from his hip. At this point, he's visible to Malak, if not to Vengar, but it's clear that they're moving forward, preparing to engage the three of you.
Can we see anything besides just the fact that they have hoods on?
No, I mean, they're that's a great point, and to describe the three of them, and thank you. I know, Malak, you probably have an accurate description of them, but to Vengar and Iron, they're three very heavily cloaked humanoids. They're man-shaped. They're between 5.5 and 6 feet tall, but they have heavy dark cloaks over the three of them. Their character model is probably a good judge of what you would expect of the three of them.
Are we officially in combat, or could I roll insight to...
Well, what would you be attempting to do in
I don't know.
insight?
I guess pretty much look at their faces. I don't know if that's
If anything,
possible,
that would be a
considering the light.
perception roll. But at this point, no. I'm going to say no that you... why don't you guys go ahead and roll initiative? I'm going to try and put Malik on the table here.
So pre-initiative, and that is more or less just seeing what it is that Iron... Well, this ability is kind of ridiculous, because if I was trying to...
I'm gonna say this is the beginning of combat. So if you choose to
Yeah.
use that ability now, you could go ahead and do so.
Yeah, so let me just...
Vanguard, why don't you go ahead and roll initiative?
You know what? I'm not gonna use the ability.
Well, roll
No.
your initiative first, and then you can
Yes.
decide. Right? I mean, that's very valid.
Where is that?
Okay. So that's the situation as it stands. Vanguard, if you choose to use that ability, you can go ahead and use it. That's up to you.
No, I mean, we're in such close quarters. I'm not trying to gain any ground. I would feel a little silly running. I mean, I know what
I
the,
understand completely what you're saying.
yeah, the metagaming way of doing this would be to run through the three of them and flank them, but
Sure.
I'm not going to use the ability. It doesn't make sense given where we are. So,
Okay. So with this in mind, the first character shifts his way closer to Iron. Sorry. And takes a swing at him, pulling out his short sword and taking a swing at him. Luckily, Iron just dodging back slightly out of the way, missing his strike. The second doing a similar situation, shifting forward, looking at what's available in the room. And the software crashing on me slightly. No. Pulling out his short sword, leaping towards Iron Lung. And despite his deflection, striking slightly towards his leg. Malik, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna probably shift down a bit to get a
But
better
you can shift and
angle.
move. I mean, yeah, okay. So move. I mean,
I'm not.
it's been a
using
while since
specific
you've
terms,
played.
yeah.
So shift is a move action that moves you one square, but you've just moved 2 squares.
Okay.
Okay? A shift being that it does not promote an opportunity attack when you're adjacent to an enemy. Do you remember this as I'm talking about?
I'm remembering it now.
So if you're not adjacent to an enemy, you can. I mean, a shift is a move action, but it only moves you 1 square.
Okay.
And
I
a
mean, I was just
move you
saying
can
like
move- yeah.
shift as in just
No,
like a
exactly.
movement,
You
not
move.
necessarily.
Because you weren't
Okay.
adjacent. You weren't within an opponent's area of threat. So you can move your full movement speed. You move to where you were, and you're. So that's your move action. I assume you have a
Okay.
standard action left.
My holy symbol glows, and I shout, "Creature of darkness, breathe your last!" And I cast Sacred Flame on the one that attacked Iron Lung. So 2.
Okay, so number 2 successfully hit him. Well, okay. So why don't you go ahead and roll your attack? Okay. One ally you can see chooses to saving throw to gain temporary hit points equal to your random modifier. I'm too drunk to fucking process this. So wait, you're gonna do damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage on him. That was some serious damage. And one ally you can see chooses either to make a saving throw
I don't understand why
or
you
to
need
gain
this.
temporary hit points equal to your charisma modifier plus 1/2 of your. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that iron is your target.
Yeah.
Wait. And one ally. No, okay, so you're targeting a mob, and one ally chooses to make a saving throw or to gain temporary hit points.
What would a saving throw do in that situation?
That's a great. I feel like it would be like he would get an additional saving throw versus something that just happened. I don't know. That's awkward. Iron, you're good with the rules. Do you see what he's talking about? Sacred Flame?
It just seems like he can grant someone else a saving throw, like they get 2, but they just get 1 out of their turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up again now. But what I'm gonna say is right now that Iron Lung, you can gain temporary hit points equal to Malik's charisma modifier plus 1/2 of your level. So your charisma modifier, whatever that is, which is you got 14
It's
charisma.
2, so it's 3.
So Iron Lung, you get
Okay.
2 temporary hit points. And unless you have a minor
So half-
action,
Half doesn't count as anything?
no,
It's just random.
half of 1 is 0. Yeah.
Okay.
So unless you have a minor action, that's the end of your turn. I'm going to tell you don't have minor actions unless you're going to use you have that that thing that you can use once per.
I have healing word. I guess I'll use it. It's a minor action. You can spend a healing surge and regain 1d6 additional hit points. I mean, I don't know. You're not hurt that much yet. I think I'll just save it for now. I'm gonna just end my turn there.
Okay. Okay. That would be Vengar's turn.
Okay, so I'm just going to move. I have to turn the ambiance music off. It's really bugging me now.
That's fine. I mean, really, I just left it.
I mean, we're
Oh,
indoors
God.
now, so.
Yeah. You're in
Is
a
that-
shadowy.
Okay, it's not in that browser. Which
Of course, I'm
browser
just
is it
gonna
in?
turn down
Shit.
the howl and cackling lady.
Cackling lady.
It's gone now. It's gone now. It's wonderful.